Coffee enemas, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the miracle of putting coffee up your butt. So a coffee enema is just exactly how it sounds. It's taking coffee and putting it up your rectum, holding it in for about 10 minutes and then releasing it. And one of the main reasons people do coffee enemas is to help stimulate their liver to release more bile. When you're detoxing, when you're cleansing your body, when you're eating alkaline foods or juicing, your liver becomes overburdened sometimes if you're not processing all that toxic waste out of your liver quick enough. And so a lot of people will add in a coffee enema and it will revolutionize their healing. For me, it helped so much. It was a game changer after I started introducing it into my diet. And I can't say enough good things about it. It was just game changer. So the coffee enema has been around for a very long time. It became famous from the Garrison therapy. It's been around for over 100 years, but the Garrison therapy is a juice and vegetarian-based diet. And once they started to include daily coffee enemas, and even more than daily, several times a day, they started seeing their cancer patients heal way quicker. Coffee basically stimulates an enzyme in your liver called glutathione S-transferase. This enzyme helps bind to free radicals and toxins in the body, and it helps to purge the liver of more bile, and in that bile also leaves with more toxins. So some people say that doing coffee enemas overstimulate your adrenal glands, and while I will have to agree on this, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. While it might overstimulate your adrenal glands, it also really helps to purge more toxins out. So in my opinion, is it worth it? Yes. There's different parts of different therapies that I choose to use for myself. Obviously, this is my opinion, but I have found that coffee enemas are just an epic way to help the full circle of detox within the first year if your body's super toxic, super acidic, and needs to eliminate a crap load of waste in the same amount of time that you're cutting up those toxins with the juice therapy. In my opinion, you can do enemas like water enemas and tea enemas to just help with constipation as well as get nutrients into your body. And I want to tell you a little story here. So there was a phase when I think I might have been like 5 months deep into cleansing, and I hit a crisis. My stomach became super bloated. I was unable to drink juice or eat food or even drink water. And so I went probably 4 or 5 days just dry fasting because my bowels were they were seized. And I was getting to the point where I was, almost panicking. And I had one of my friends come over to my house who was a firefighter. He tried to hook me up with an IV to rehydrate me, and it didn't work. He couldn't hit a vein in my body. I was so chronically dehydrated. So what I did was I did an herbal tea enema to help release some of the crap that was in my colon. And then I did an orange juice enema to help get some electrolytes and some fruit sugar into my bloodstream. And lo and behold, what do you know, within about 30 minutes, I had more energy. I was starting to get more hydrated. And the next day, I pretty much bumped out of that healing crisis that I was in, and I was able to drink water and ultimately start juicing again. So not only does doing coffee enemas help stimulate your liver to release more bile, it also really helps with constipation. So for you who might have IBS, IBD, or some sort of chronic bowel issue like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, it can really help with purging more waste from your colon if it's just sitting there. Okay guys, so how to do a coffee enema. I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. It's actually very easy. It only takes, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes for the whole procedure to go down. And once you do it, you're gonna be real hyped, trust me. So in my opinion, it doesn't really matter what brand of coffee you use, but it does matter what type. And I personally like to use a light roast organic coffee. You can get it from anywhere. I usually just get it from the grocery store at Sprouts. And as long as it's light roast and organic, I have found that to be the best. The darker you roast it, the more acidic it can be. And just give it any coarse ground, just the same as you would if you were just gonna use a coffee press. So as far as what type of water to use, you're gonna wanna use distilled water. That's pretty much it. The enema kit that I like to use is called Aussie Health. You can get it right here on Amazon. It's pretty dang cheap. It's a stainless steel bucket with a nice long tube and a really good insertion head. And it's what I have found to be the longest lasting, the easiest to use, and also relatively cheap price. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take 3 tablespoons of the light roast coffee, and you're gonna add that to 1 cup of distilled water. So you're gonna wanna bring the distilled water and coffee to a boil for, maybe 10-20 seconds, and then you're gonna wanna shut the stove off. I like to let it sit there for, a minute or 2, let the coffee dissolve in the water. And then to strain the coffee out of the water, I have this little filter. It's a camping coffee filter that I got off of Amazon. Super nice, super easy. It gets all the particles of the coffee out. And I set this up on top of the bucket, and I just let the coffee drain through this little filter here. So along with the 1 cup of coffee that you have now in your enema bucket, you're gonna wanna add 3 more cups of distilled water. This will drop the temperature of the coffee down a lot, and chances are you'll be able to use this pretty much right away. If you touch the water with your finger and it's still too warm, you either might wanna add a couple ice cubes of distilled water or just wait a little bit until it cools down. So now that you got the coffee made, you're gonna wanna find a real nice, comfortable place. When I first started, I was doing this in the bathroom just to be safe. I didn't want to spill anything anywhere. Find a nice, comfortable spot. You can lay a mat down, you can lay a couple towels down and a pillow, and just find a nice place to relax and chill out for about 10 to 15 minutes. So before you go lay down, you're gonna wanna get all of the liquid all the way to the tip of the enema bucket. And you do this by holding this over the sink. You're gonna wanna open the flow valve. You're gonna wanna let the coffee drip out as far as it can, and then you're gonna wanna close the valve to prepare it for when you're gonna lay down. For me, this is like a really good time to either listen to a podcast or send some emails or read a book or just sit there in peace. I think of doing enemas as kind of a meditation and a time to relax. And so I just like to be alone. I like to just be in my own zone and make it comfortable. So you're gonna wanna lay on your right side, and you're gonna wanna lift your knees up at about a 90-degree angle to your chest. And you're gonna wanna make sure you set the coffee enema at least a foot above your colon, so it has gravity to pull the water down into your rectum. Okay, here comes the fun part, putting the coffee inside you. Here's how you're gonna do it. So you're gonna wanna lube up the tip with some sort of oil. I like to use coconut oil, but you can really ultimately use any type of oil. So with the coffee enema bucket set down, you're gonna wanna insert the tip into your bum. Try to relax, try to just let your muscles just relax as much as you can, and then stick it, about 1 inch or 2, maybe 3 inches, depending on the tip of your enema bucket, and then just put it in there. So now that you've got the tip inserted, basically you're just gonna open the flow valve and let the coffee flow in. This is where the magic happens. You're gonna start to feel some water going up your rectum. At first it might feel a little bit weird, but then you will definitely get used to it. And if you do feel the stimulation of caffeine for the first couple times, that's totally normal. But in most people's experiences, they've just started to feel really good once this goes in. If you hold the coffee in for too long, say 30 minutes to 5 hours, bad things could happen and you could turn into a dog. No, I'm just kidding. So you really can't hold it in too long. The worst thing that could happen is the coffee and the water will just absorb into your colon and you will get rehydrated. But I typically only do it for about 10 to 15 minutes. So now you're gonna wanna go to the bathroom and release this. You're gonna wanna stay in there for a good 10 minutes and make sure you get all of the liquid out and whatever else is gonna come out with that. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy. Once you do it once, you understand just how easy it is and how good your body will feel after you do it. I personally, if I get a headache or if I'm having a really bad day and I feel like my body's moving sluggish, I will do a coffee enema, and I have found it to be very, very helpful, and I just really enjoy the way it makes me feel if I'm not feeling super good. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my coffee enema rant. I really hope you can add this to your regimen if you're having issues and you're not getting where you want to go in your healing. And to me, it's just like I can't say enough good things about doing coffee enemas. It helped me it was monumental to my healing. So I just want to stress that. I had severe debilitating, I was bedridden, had very bad Crohn's disease. And it changed the game for me. Like I said, it was monumental. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you got any questions, just hit me up in the comment section below. I try to get to everybody's questions. And if you guys want to follow my journey, you can hit me up on Instagram at JeffJuices, or just check my website out below to learn anything more about my protocol, what I'm doing, or just any more about my health journey. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time, my friends. Peace.